At the youth level over the last 2 years, there's been a dramatic 10% decline in the number of young kids playing tackle Pop Warner football. Heads Up Football, solution or not? Jake Plummer, he played 10 seasons in the National Football League. He's been an ambassador for Heads Up Football. Tony Casillas won a national championship with the Oklahoma Sooners and 2 rings with the Dallas Cowboys, and he's also an ambassador of Heads Up Football. And Sal Marinello is a certified athletic trainer and a member of the American College of Sports Medicine. At the end of the report, you heard the representative from USA Football make the distinction. We're not saying we're making the game safe. We're making the game safer. I went to 3 dictionaries today. It's the same definition. Why this word game?
Well, I think safer means, is it better than it was 10 years ago? Is it better? Is the awareness there? And I think that, Bob, I think that's the most important thing you got to look at. Hey, I was part of a youth football organization for 5 years. I developed. My mission was technique and teach them how to play the game. I learned very quickly that it wasn't about that. Coaches were had a more of an agenda. They had kids out there that had no experience at all, putting them in a drill, not teaching them how to tackle. The parents expecting their kids to play football and be, the next Peyton Manning in the NFL, and there wasn't an emphasis on that. That's where I think the Heads Up program has really put an emphasis on making it safer. If you're going to eliminate concussions? No. But you're not going to eliminate concussions of a kid falling off a bicycle, which is, by the way, the #1 concussion as far as kids getting injured. It's all about muscle memory, Bob, and I think what the Heads Up program does is try to break it down and, in layman's terms, teach the coaches and certify them to teach kids how to tackle. And I think that's the thing that you got to hit on. It's the grassroots of developing kids through youth football, through high school, through ultimately whatever the step may be, college football, or the ultimate goal in the NFL. It starts there. And so I think that that's what we're trying to implement is an environment where they can learn, where the parents they're interactive, where the coaches are certified, where there's an element of teaching these kids, as opposed at that age when at all costs, worrying about 9 and 10-year-olds getting scholarships. That's not what it's about. It's about developing them.
I think we're trying to increase awareness. I really don't think you can make it safer, because even if the tackle is performed better, that the head keeps moving and there's other things that can hit the head as a result of that tackle. So, we're talking about concussion awareness and the awareness of taking the head out. And like Tony said, making a lot of coaches aware that, hey, you know what, certain drills shouldn't be done with certain kids at certain times. Myself as a youth coach, as well as someone who's coached high school, I think of that parent who comes to me and wants to know if the game is safe or safer. And Bob, as you mentioned with that definition, those 2 words are pretty close. And I think another issue here, I think we have a lot of kids who play that maybe aren't ready. As Jake said, they may not be ready to play till a later date. And I think that might be another good place to start, is saying, hey, you know what, let's get kids playing flag football, kindergarten, 3rd grade, 5th grade, and then we choose those kids who may be ready by the time they get to be 12, 13 to go into tackle football.
I don't think it can happen where the game is going to be so safe that no one gets a concussion or you don't get hurt. And also, it's a great thing that they're actually certifying coaches now that are coaching these young kids that I believe shouldn't have pads on until they're 10, 11, maybe even 12 years old.
We've chronicled on this program, and I've mentioned a 10% drop in Pop Warner tackle football participation between the years 2010 and 2012.
These kids, I think I've seen 11, 12-year-olds that are training already for football. Me personally, I played every sport, whatever season it was, that's what I was playing. Yeah, I threw the football around in the wintertime with my brothers, but when it was winter, it was basketball, it was indoor games, handball, doing some other stuff. These kids get set on one sport and they go for it, and I think, you can't do that as a youngster. You have to be varied, you have to have other sports that bring you along and help you remain hopefully healthy through all those sports.
Sal, we've got about 20 seconds. If you believe that Heads Up Football is not the solution, very quickly, what is the solution here? Is there one?
Well, I think that a big step is taking a tackle away from at the younger level and wait till they're a little more ready physically. I think that's a big part of it.
All right, the age limits, of course, that's been a matter of debate and contention as we see 8, 9-year-olds, even younger than that, involved in tackle football. Jake Plummer, Tony Casillas, Sal Marinello, we appreciate your time, guys.